Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for Renfield. Renfield, a new and fresh original take on the age-old tale of Dracula. Of course, Renfield is Dracula's familiar. In other words, pretty much a devoted servant who does whatever is needed to protect or to help, gain power for Dracula himself, and he's been doing it for a long, long time. This movie, of course, starring the two Nicholases, because we got Nicholas Hoult playing Renfield, and we have the great, the legendary, the man, the myth himself, Nicolas Cage. I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan. I grew up with the guy, for Christ's sake. I know he had a great beginning to his career, then he kind of went to shit, doing all kinds of nonsense. And the last few years kind of had somewhat of a resurgence with movies like Mandy, Pig, or The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which I really enjoyed here. So he's always been great, and I'm a big fan of his, and to see him do a role like this, I mean, he's tailor-made for a movie like this, and I'll get into that in a second here. But we have here Nicholas Hoult as Renfield, who is kind of questioning his station in life. He's been doing his Dracula's bidding for God knows how long, and and it kind of like the beginning is set up because they talk about how they meet and how he became his familiar, and due to some circumstances which I won't spoil, Dracula almost gets killed and now needs to be fed to kind of bring himself back to how he was originally and gain all his power back. And to do so, Renfield has to move Dracula around from one safe location to another and feed him bodies and get innocent bodies to feed him blood so he can regain his strength. But now it's kind of wearing thin on him because now he's questioning the morality of what he does. And by a chance meeting with an officer played by Aquafina, he saves her life and he's inspired by her, right? He wants to be something better than what he is. Of course, Count Dracula finds out and tries to foil his plans and torture him in ways which he never imagined he could experience. That's kind of the basic premise here, right? Not is very simple, to the point. And overall, this was an entertaining flick. I mean, I heard a lot of good things leading up to it. This is one that would seem ridiculous and over the top, and that's what it is, and that's what I enjoyed. It's a movie with a lot of cool moments. Now, is it a great film? No. Is it going to change your life? No. And it's really made for a niche group here. This is a movie for those true fans of Dracula, or if you listen, because I'll say this right now, this movie is over the top, particularly with the violence and the gore, but in a fun way, in a ridiculous way. And I love that kind of thing, right? And this movie knows exactly what it is, never really takes itself serious when it gets into the action scenes and all that, because Renfield, he eats bugs and he gains strength and power and agility and all that. So it turns into almost like an action film when he gets into these altercations with gang members and et cetera, et cetera. And those are really cool. Those are really fun, well done. Again, if it just sounds like you're into that kind of thing where blood everywhere, people exploding, and arms being torn off and all that, this is tailor made for you. But the caveat being that, again, this is a movie which doesn't take it so seriously. It's a lot of funny moments, and like I said, I like the premise. It's a very original take on this, right? Where Renfield's questioning who he is, and he's going to therapy and trying to find help and kind of self-empowerment, if you will, so he can kind of stand up to Dracula, who's been beating on him for God knows how many years. So I say it's a good idea. I always like Aquafina, and Nicolas Cage as Dracula is great. He uses all the classic Nicolas Cageisms that you see when he's performing, but he's having so much fun being Dracula. You can just tell he's just chewing up the scenery. I wish he's in the movie a good portion, but I wish he was in it more than what he was, because he steals the show. He's a scene stealer. I love what he does here. I guess it's almost over the top, but it works well because this movie is over the top. It's silly, right? Sometimes even dumb. That all the humor doesn't always work. No, obviously not, but there's funny moments, and enough there to kind of keep you entertained and kind of forget that this movie is kind of stupid and kind of dumb. But again, it succeeds because, to me, that's exactly what it was trying to do, and it does it well. It's original, creative, cool action, some funny moments, good moments here and there. But again, this is a movie that may not fit everybody's cup of tea, which I get. But if you've seen the trailer, you have a good sense of what this movie is. Yeah, it's just more of that and done well, and I enjoyed it. It's not going to change anyone's life. This is not a great quote unquote film, of course, but nonetheless, it's still an enjoyable ride. It's one I definitely recommend you guys watch. Maybe not necessarily in the theaters. It's not exactly a movie that's going to draw big crowds. I don't think so anyway. But it's a movie that if you're at home Friday night, get a couple of beers in you, smoke a little, whatever. It's all good. I get it. Whatever your taste is, and I think you have yourself having a lot of fun with this film. Turn your brain off and just expect. And again, it's very trimmed. It's an hour and a half. It's a very simple story and not much to it. It's just entertaining and give you an unique perspective on this story, right? Give you something fresh, and which I can always appreciate. And I want to kind of support these kind of films, whether this is a great movie, not whatever, it's probably not. But at the same time, it accomplishes, again, when the action gets going and the ridiculousness of what's going on, you have so much fun, and that's the important part, right? At the end of the day, a movie's supposed to be entertaining. You know what you're getting yourself into. Don't expect a whole lot, and I think you're gonna have a good time. I really are. So this one, I recommend you guys catch either in theaters or at home whenever you get a chance. But if you do, comment below, let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.